Jungkook and Jimin spotted in Switzerland. A simple vacation or the beginning of a secret project? Switzerland. Two major names from BTS, Jungkook and Jimin, have once again drawn global attention following their unexpected appearance in Switzerland recently. What exactly is their purpose in this calm, neutral country? Is it merely a post-military service break? Or could it be the beginning of something much bigger and carefully planned? The absence of any official statement from their agency only intensifies public curiosity, sparking unstoppable speculation among fans and global entertainment observers. Jungkook and Jimin in Switzerland. A secret mission or just a public illusion? Let's uncover the reality behind it. The presence of Jungkook and Jimin in Switzerland after their military service has stirred global public interest. But do we truly understand the context and purpose behind this appearance? Or are we being led to believe in a narrative that may not necessarily reflect the truth? When two of the most influential figures from the Korean entertainment industry are seen abroad simultaneously, a larger question emerges. Is this part of a creative, diplomatic agenda, or simply a visual fabrication meant to draw global attention? In today's fast-moving and often manipulative media climate, it's crucial to examine: where does this information come from? Did their appearance in Switzerland truly happen as portrayed on social media? Or are these just visual fragments deliberately arranged to create a certain impression? We must collectively acknowledge that the current information about Jungkook and Jimin's presence in Switzerland is based on TikTok video clips, short Twitter (X) posts, YouTube snippets, and unsourced photos circulating across various digital entertainment media. Are all these enough to determine the truth of the event? This is where we are tested as media consumers. Are we merely narrative enjoyers, or are we capable of becoming narrative examiners? Many of us tend to get caught up in visual euphoria, where images or short videos without context are treated as complete facts. But shouldn't we be more cautious? Could it be, for instance, that the video was part of an older project only recently released? Or are they really in Switzerland? Why hasn't there been an official report from Big Hit Music or the related agency? Why haven't Korea's major media outlets covered this issue in depth? Doesn't this indicate that the information might not yet be objectively verified? We should also ask, who benefits from the virality of this issue? Is there a party deliberately creating this narrative to reignite public attention on BTS? Or is this part of an undisclosed promotional strategy? In the entertainment world, publicity doesn't always arise organically. It can emerge as a calculated move to manage audience perception and emotion. Why are we so quick to believe when two famous figures appear in a non-formal setting in a foreign country? Isn't it true that visual manipulation, selective camera angles, and intentionally crafted captions and background music can build a powerful illusion? How often do we question, is this real or just media framing at work? Let's pose some further reflective questions. Are we, as viewers, merely consuming stories, or are we unknowingly contributing to the wave of virality? Are we part of the crowd amplifying the issue, or are we individuals brave enough to ask questions and critically assess? It's also important to recognize how algorithms work. The more we see similar content on social media, the more we believe it's true. But this isn't factual validation. It's merely the result of a digital system prioritizing popularity over accuracy. In this context, we must admit that the public's expectations and longing for BTS post-military have created a psychological landscape vulnerable to manipulation. The ARMY's yearning for Jungkook and Jimin's return to the entertainment world makes them easy targets for media sensationalism. Therefore, we must ask, is this collective emotion being exploited? Are we being redirected to focus on this news in order to distract from other issues? We are not saying this to deny the possibility that Jungkook and Jimin are indeed in Switzerland. However, we feel it's necessary to stress that the actual truth has yet to fully emerge. The information currently circulating remains fragmentary and full of gaps. Therefore, it is crucial for all of us not to rush into conclusions, let alone construct major narratives without a solid foundation. As intelligent viewers, we must learn to restrain ourselves from unverified enthusiasm. We need to learn to read between the lines, not just absorb what is explicitly written. We must also realize that in today's digital era, anyone can produce and spread news without adhering to strict journalistic standards. Are Jungkook and Jimin truly in Switzerland for a vacation, a secret project, or cultural diplomacy? Or is this merely an illusion driven by algorithms, collective emotion, and the urge to create sensation. Do social media truly reflect reality, or only the shadows of what we want to believe? We invite all of you to reflect. Magnifying glass tilted left, are we too quick to trust information without clear sources or motives? Magnifying glass tilted left, are we wise enough to distinguish between fact and emotional interpretation? Magnifying glass tilted left, can we still stand as rational individuals amid the flood of emotional and visual information? It's essential to always maintain skepticism, not in the sense of distrusting everything blindly, but as an intellectual stance to delay conclusions until all evidence is available and verifiable. Don't let visual narratives control our minds. Don't let social media shape our perceptions unfiltered. We remind you once again that the information we've presented here comes from various channels, such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several online media. However, until now, there has been no official confirmation that can provide comprehensive clarity. Therefore, do not treat this article as absolute truth. Take it as material for reflection, a trigger for discussion, and a basis for deeper thinking. Please decide for yourself. Game. Thank you for reading, and let's continue to build a culture of critical thinking amidst the ever-flowing stream of information. The sudden appearance of two BTS members in Switzerland is not only surprising but also strategic. In the post-military context where the public awaits certainty about each member's career direction, the presence of Jungkook and Jimin abroad suggests that some activity is being prepared behind the scenes. Is this a comeback signal? Are they undergoing exclusive photo shoots, global recordings, or secret meetings with international parties? No one knows for sure, and therein lies the appeal of this event. Switzerland is not a random choice. This country is known as a hub for secret meetings, international conferences, and operational bases for various high-end fashion houses and global brands. In this context, the presence of Jungkook and Jimin raises more complex questions. Is their involvement in Switzerland part of a strategic collaboration with international brands, or are they involved in a large-scale Korean cultural project? Fueling speculation is the fact that no staff or agency representatives were seen publicly accompanying them. Typically, for private trips like vacations, South Korean celebrities maintain distance from media and public attention. However, this time their presence was clearly captured by several visual sources, as if intentionally allowed to be seen. This raises the suspicion that this leak is part of a structured media strategy, a preliminary step in creating public buzz before an official project announcement. On the other hand, pop culture observers suggest that this visit could simply mark a transition moment, a phase shift from military service to the next stage of their careers. In this case, Switzerland symbolizes neutrality and a fresh start, a place clean from the conflicts and hustle of East Asia's entertainment industry. The choice seems symbolic. Two major Korean artists choosing a neutral location to prepare for the next chapter of their journey, personally or professionally. If the visit is indeed private or purely recreational, it wouldn't be a major issue. However, considering Jungkook and Jimin's status as global icons with influence across entertainment, fashion, and even cultural diplomacy, the public is right to ask, why Switzerland? Why now? And why the two of them, not with other members? Fans from various countries have begun to associate their appearance in Switzerland with the potential formation of a new unit project, whether as a music duo or a visual collaboration. As is well known, the two share strong chemistry both personally and artistically. Their interactions on stage and in previous projects have drawn attention for vocal harmony and emotional synchronization. If a new music project is indeed underway, Switzerland may serve as the backdrop for exclusive content, such as music videos, photo shoots, or even a documentary touching both personal and professional sides. However, not everyone views this event as related to a major project. Some argue that Jungkook and Jimin may simply be spending time together as longtime friends who have just completed their national service. In South Korean culture, the post-military phase is often seen as a significant turning point in a public figure's life, and it's reasonable for them to step away briefly to refresh their minds. Nevertheless, the situation surrounding their presence is filled with too many question marks to be dismissed as coincidence. Even major Korean media outlets appear cautious in covering this topic, as if realizing that something not yet ready to be announced is unfolding. While the public awaits confirmation, questions continue to echo. Is Jungkook and Jimin's presence in Switzerland part of a massive comeback plan that will shake the global music industry? Or is this simply two old friends enjoying time away from cameras and packed schedules? Amid this uncertainty, one thing is clear. The presence of two BTS stars in Switzerland is not an event that can be easily ignored. Even without an official statement, they've managed to stir global discourse and ignite a wave of speculation that shows no signs of slowing down. If something is indeed being prepared, then Switzerland may be only the opening chapter, and the public now waits. What comes next?